That was the scene inside a raucous Rogers Place Wednesday night as the playoffs came back to Edmonton for the first time in 11 years. Welcome back to Oilers TV Playoffs presented by Sport Chek. Tom Gazzola alongside Bob Stauffer from the Oilers Radio Network as we get set, Bob, to go into Game 2 following a tough Game 1, but we're going to get to that as well. But the energy and the excitement, we knew it was going to be crazy in here. What did you make of what we saw Wednesday night?
Well, Tom, you're up beside us. I mean, I think you know how I felt, and I'm not surprised. I mean, this is Edmonton. They got unbelievable fans. They supported a rebuilding franchise for a number of years during some very difficult times, and they waited a long, long time to get a chance to really enjoy a playoff game, and they did. But there were some things that were done that made it even better. Having Robert Clark sing the Canadian national anthem in the stands, I cannot tell you the kind of positive response I've got from around the league. They're like, that was a brilliant idea, and it thoroughly engaged the fan base that much more, and it was spectacular. Milan Lucic, end of the first period, said it's as loud a building as he's ever heard. So there's a guy with over 100 games of playoff experience. I think that speaks volumes.
Yeah. Nicely done, Gene Principe. Yeah. I had to look
at you. That doesn't happen often, let me tell you.
I had to look at you after that anthem, and I just said, wow. Let's hear what the players had to say about the atmosphere in the building that night.
I think it's nice for everybody to get the first out of the way. It doesn't matter if you played for 20 years, and playoffs still going to be an exciting time for you. And I had a lot of butterflies here last night during the day, and I think as soon as you get the first shift over, it's like every other game, but it's more intense, it's less space, and it's more physical, and I think you have to adjust to that, and I thought most of the guys did a really good job. Obviously we lost, but we get the feel of it, and then we were ready to go tonight.
Yeah, obviously the atmosphere with the fans and whatnot was great. Obviously the outcome wasn't what we wanted, but you know, we can't be surprised at this point. No one's going away at any point in any game, so clean up some things here and get back on the right foot tonight.
Yeah, we are. We're ready to execute. I thought we did some good things too in Game 1. To be honest with you, I think just for us, we weren't sharp the first 5 minutes, and then we got back on our toes again, and we were doing some good things. You know, that first period was really good for us. So, you know, we just got to take the bad, what happened in the second and third, and I'll learn from it. So we just got to play simple and do the thing that what got us here. I mean, nothing's changed. It's game 84. You know, just because it's a playoffs, everyone, you know, the intensity does ramp up, but you don't want to get too excited.
So there you have it. The Oilers talking about the atmosphere inside this building Wednesday night for Game 1. When it came to what happened on the ice, Bob, the Oilers built up a lead in the first period, and then watched it slip away to, I know both coaches don't like talking about the experience thing thus far, but let's call it poise that the Sharks showed to pull that win out.
Well, imagine being Columbus and Edmonton, Tom, and you know, you've had great step forward years after tough seasons, and you made the playoffs, and you're going up against, you know, in Columbus's case, the Pittsburgh Penguins, the reigning Stanley Cup champs, and in Edmonton's case, San Jose, the team went to the Stanley Cup final. And both Edmonton and Columbus had good first periods. Columbus outshot Pittsburgh 16-3. But then Pittsburgh, with that poise, that experience, they handled it, came back, took that game over. San Jose, I got to be honest, I didn't expect the Sharks to be able to do what they did, Tom. I don't know if you did either. But you know, the Oilers, it started with the penalties, and you could see that some guys were getting out of rotation. They didn't get a lot of minutes. And then the Sharks kind of grabbed a stranglehold of the game, and they did a really good job. And the thing that was interesting for me is it wasn't San Jose's stars. Right. It was some of their, like Tomas Hertl had a stellar game. So, you know, and it took some of the life out of building, the amount of penalties, and that's all part of the process in terms of learning. And so that's how you got to look at it from an Edmonton perspective. But it was a tough second, third period to watch. And frankly, the fact that Edmonton got to overtime, I mean, if not for the brilliance of Cam Talbot, we wouldn't have gotten there and had a one chance to win the game. But it was a tough run.
Yeah, shots 34-9 after the first period. The rest of the way, potential changes coming up. Let's hear from the Oilers locker room before we talk about them.
We talk. I mean, everyone in the room is good, and I think we've both been ready to go, and whether it's me or him, I think we both just work hard in practice and make it hard on the coaches to make a good decision.
We're experiencing this for the first time in a decade, and first time as a group, and every win, loss, tie, whatever it is, teaches you a lesson, and we were taught one the other day.
All right, Bob, so we see Matt Benning discussing with the media that it looks like he'll be in the lineup, likely replacing Eric Greiba. What do you make of that, and what else could we see tonight?
All right, well, we'll start with the defense. I mean, Greiba and Benning have pretty much alternated a fair amount down the stretch here. I think that, Matt had about a 25 or 30 game run where he was pretty good. There's been a bit of a tail off. It coincided with when he got blasted down in Carolina. And, there's been some challenges. Greiba, the more experienced defenseman, got in there, played in the playoffs for Ottawa. You remember that massive hit on Lars Eller a few years ago. But Eric was on the ice for a couple goals against. And not that we point fingers to one guy, but I just thought it was inevitable they'd both play anyways during the course of the series. So Benning's going to get in there, and we'll see what he can do with Darnell Nurse. I think that when incumbent for that pairing is to basically do less. Like if you're Darnell, simplify. And I think that's the message for the team. Stay out of the box and simplify. So certainly all signs point to Matt Benning being in the lineup.
Okay, that does it for the Oilers side in this part of Oilers TV Playoffs presented by Sport Chek. Stauffer and I will be back to take a look at the Sharks in part 2.